Good day, viewers. It's your girl Francisca from Cisca Fabric Heart, and today we'll be learning on how to cut a corporate gown, normal length, which is below knee length. Do me well by subscribing to my channel with the handle Cisca Fabric Heart, and also turn on your notification bell so you can get notified whenever we upload new videos. Come on, let's start. Okay, so I have placed my material on the table. I want to do it very fast. So what I did is I'm going to cut the back and the front together. So what I did is I already have a fold of two. I already have a material fold of two. So like I said, I want to cut this gown once and out. Okay, so you see, this is two folds, which should be for the front, and another two folds for the back. This extra here, this 1.5 inch is for my allowance for the zip. Okay, so let's start. So examine the wideness of the material using my hips, which is obviously the big part of the human body, and then a couple of allowance. So we take the full length of our gown. Full length is 44 here. We're going to have an additional 44, an additional 2 inches for folding allowance. So that's that. So we have a total of 46 for the length. Okay, I'll take my half length, which is 16. This is my half length, 16. And our average hip measurement is 9. That's what I'll still be using. So from that waist, we measure 9 downward. So this is where my hips will stop. Also, I'll also measure down to determine my nail points to pence the gown. So my knee point is 19. So I measure 19 from the waist down. 19. So this is my knee, and this is the extra of the gown length. So I'll come up again from the shoulder now. Because I want this gown to be very fitted, I will take note of every aspect of the body. Another notable point is our under bust. For this person is 13.5. 13.5 under the bust, so the gown will sit very well under our bust, and our breast point is 10.5. Okay, these are the very vital points in making a gown, a corporate gown. Okay, so our shoulder is 14, which is, when you divide it into 2, is 7. So we'll mark 7 here. 7. So I'm working with an armhole of 8 because she's a bit wider than I am. So we'll mark the armhole point 8. So we're going to connect it now. Okay, so this curvy line is our armhole. So right behind, or just by the armhole, is where we'll take our bust point. Our bust here is 44, and when you divide 44 into 4, you have 11. This is our 11. We have 2 inches allowance. So we mark our 2 inches allowance. So we have this other point is our under bust. Our under bust here is 36. When you divide into 4, you have 9. So we have 9 here, and then of course we had our 2 inches allowance right here. So then our waist, which is 42. When we divide 42 into 4, we have 10 and a half. These are 10 and a half. We measure, we had 2 inches, and now 1 is. It's okay. So this for the up part. We will now go down to our hips. The next marked point is the hips. So our hips here is 46. Divide into 4, we have 11 and a half. Okay, this is 11 and a half. Let me get a better shot. 11 and a half. So we had 2 inches allowance. That's one of the entire material. Okay. Then the next point, the knee. Very important to make the skirt very pants. So for my previous video, I said I determined the opening or the openness of my knee using my waist to give it that fittedness, that pencilness. So my waist measurement here again is 42 divided by 4. We have 10 and half. So that's the opening of my knee. So of course I'll add an additional 2 inches allowance. So a total of 13 is what is applicable down here also. 13. So we begin to connect these different points together. So from the bottom, we drawing it to the knee. From the knee, connect it to the hips. From the hips, we come right to the waist. To the waist, to the under bust, and to the bust. So very simple as that. Okay. So having done that, taking the measurement of the rest part of the body from the bust to the under bust, the waist, the hips, the knee, and the bottom part of the gown. We've also cut our armhole. We've also measured our armhole, sorry. The next thing now is to take the width of our neck. An average width neck is 4. That's the opening, the wideness sideways. And then the depth, I'll be using 3.5 is the corporate neck. I'll be using 3.5. Okay, so I'm just going to connect this point to this point in a circle manner, not V. Circle. So just connect it nicely. Okay. So also, because I'm doing everything together, I will just measure the back to the depth of the back to 1. Okay, so from here to here, it's 5.5 because of the allowance behind. So also take the measurement for the back, 5.5. So this way it stops. So we connect it. This one is a very shallow neck because the back of the neck is high. Okay, so that's that. The front will come this way, while the back will be this low. So we want to cut out now. Basically, this is all for the gown, just to cut the hand by remaining. So if you can observe, I held every point with pin. So this material is very, very unstable. So you have to hold every point with pin very importantly, so your material doesn't move up and down and you miss what you've marked. Okay, so I'm going to cut it out. Front neck and the back. Like very shallow. I want to follow this line very well. Okay, so comes out very well now. Need I remind you that this shoulder cannot be straight because the human body is not straight. At every point, you observe the way there is slantness or there is curviness. Detailed emphasis will be made when cutting those areas. For this shoulder, now, I remember my last video I said from the abdomen area, you need to put a dart so that the area around your abdomen will not be boiling like a balloon. It won't be full. So you need to put a dart around that area. The same thing for the shoulder, because the shoulder is not straight. You need to cut out few inches out. For this one, I'm going to be taking half an inch off the shoulder. So this is the neck, the neck point itself, and then this is the end of the shoulder now. So I'll be slanting it from that half point up back to the actual neck. The reason I'm doing so, it's so at the end of the shoulder, the cloth doesn't stand like shoulder parts. It will make the cloth to rest on your shoulder properly. That's why we are cutting out this half an inch. The same way we cut out that half an inch around the abdomen for the skirt to make that deepness sit very well. That's what is applicable for this gown. Okay, so that is that. I'm going to cut out the material, the excesses, the areas I don't want now. Starting from the armhole, the next thing is the sides. Following my measurements, so I'm done with the sides. Let me cut the under. It's a bit hard because I'm cutting 4 fabrics. Yep. Okay, so I've cut out the areas I don't want from the bottom, the side. So this is basically our gown. It's all looking it already. So what I have to do next is to cut the hands. It's just a normal body sleeve. I'll show you how. Okay, so we put this aside. That's for the bodies of the gown. Okay, so I folded my fabric into four. Using the round sleeve measurement of the arm I'm working with. The round sleeve rather is 15. So it's supposed to be 7.5. So I have an additional 2 inches attached to it. So I need to be okay and more. So I folded it into 4 this way. Then the sleeve length is 8. It's a body sleeve. 8. I'll add 2 inches allowance. Okay, so how do we cut our sleeve and how do we cut our armhole for the sleeve? From this up point now, remember my round sleeve there, it took a length of 8. So what I will do now is I will mark 4, which means an half of it, an half of my round sleeve, and an half of my armhole rather. So I mark 4. Then under the 4, I'll mark my round sleeve, which is 15. That's 7.5 when you fold in 2 inches allowance. Okay, so I'll just draw this up. So this is where the 4 stops. Okay, so just make it curve. This is our starting point here, the tip of our shoulder. So from this 4 now, and then from the starting point of our sleeve with the allowance, we just make this slanty curve up here. The slant must connect to the 4. That 4 measurements, 4 inches measurements we took from the up. Okay, so 7.5, 2 inches, 1.5. So it's a body sleeve, so The same measurement is applicable here. So this is sleeve length 10, 8 inches and 2 inches allowance. So just need to just connect it. That's it. So it's looking like our sleeve already. So just make a curve here. So this is it now. So the depth 4 inches. That's I divide the armhole into 2. The armhole for the gown is 8. So 4 inches from that point, and then measuring the width of your round sleeve, you just make a slant curve up to the tip of your sleeve. So right now I'm going to cut out, and that's that for our sleeve. I think we've come to the end of the video basically. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, do also to subscribe, don't forget, and give us a thumbs up, and also turn on your notification bell. Don't worry, more videos are coming on latest styles. Thank you very much.